Ladies and gentlemen, Nick Hamilton here at the 2023 TEC Leimert Black to the Future event. And of course, I have a very special guest. She is Kenya Parham. She is the Global VP of Community and Partnerships for Spill. What's going on, Kenya? This is our first time talking. It shouldn't take TEC Leimert for us to be talking like this.
Listen, well, first of all, we talk in real life. This is our first formal interview, and I'm so honored to be sitting in the chair next to you.
The honor is all mine, absolutely. Thank you so much for taking time to sit here with us.
What better than Leimert to bring us together,
though? I mean, the city, I tell people, this is the epicenter of a lot.
This is it.
Culture, tech, I mean, whatever it is, and you being a woman, I so love seeing a woman in that position because I think it needs to be more women in that position that are qualified and aren't being looked over. And I know your journey was not an easy one.
Not at all.
But you're here.
Thank you.
You're here at TEC Leimert. We tracked you down. We got you here in the seat.
I'm here.
There you go.
That's right.
Talk to me about, for those that may not be familiar with, I know Spill is fairly new, so talk to me, what is Spill and how can people get involved with Spill?
Sure, so Spill is visual conversation that moves at the speed of culture. We are a next-gen social media platform that puts culture and the people who create it first. Mm-hmm. In our policy, via our community guidelines, we are very demonstrative and clear that this app is built to center the culture drivers, i.e. the black folks, the brown folks, the marginalized folks, the queer folks who drive culture forward with the content that they create, with the language that they innovate, but oftentimes receive the lion's share of hate from platforms that don't have moderation policies set to keep them safe, and receive improper attribution. Their stuff gets stolen and miscredited, and so Spill is designed to solve for those two things and many more.
I'm so glad you touched on that because I felt that's very, very important to include everybody, not just make a dividing, hey, this is the dividing line, either you meet these guidelines or not, but you're actually including people from all backgrounds, all genders, things of that nature.
As long as they're down for the cause, right?
Yeah,
like
course.
Spill is a black-owned, multi-diverse funded social media platform that is not just for black folks, but centers black folks, marginalized folks, queer folks. But it is an app for everybody who is down with our mission.
Why was it so important to create a space like this, and what attracted you to become the vice president of Global, because that's a huge responsibility and title.
It's a big responsibility.
But what attracted you to this particular company, and why did you want to be a part of it?
Nick, my entire career started off working in local electoral politics and civic engagement in this right here community, working out of campaign offices, 43rd and Degnan, 54th and Crenshaw. I'm not new to this. I'm true to this.
There you go.
And I've always had a passion for politics. Politics, by definition, is the allocation of resources. Who has it? Who needs it? Where are you going to go to get it from? And what are you willing to leverage in order to obtain it, right? And so I took that same political framework, that same civic engagement framework, and I've always been passionate about making sure that our people had access and equity at every single stage. I've had a lot of different iterations to my career. I took a very non-traditional pathway to becoming a tech executive. I have never worked in tech before, about 6-7 months ago. And the reason why I'm here is because the two brothers who founded Spill, Davaris Brown and Alfonso Terrell, recognized my non-traditional pathway and my transferable skill set as something of value to reimagine how we build community in a new social space. And so I'm really honored and privileged to be in this position. I don't take it lightly at all. I wake up every single morning just feeling super blessed to do this work, but also feeling very responsible for the outcomes and for us to be able to actualize Spill's mission at hand, which is to become the de facto place to discuss and discover culture and to make a much more fun, enjoyable social experience for, again, the people who do drive culture forward.
You talk about taking a non-traditional route, quote unquote, and in today's society that can mean anything, because the traditionalism I feel is starting to crumble.
Yeah.
What were some of the pitfalls and some of the obstacles that you had to face and overcome to get to this point?
Oh, man. I mean, firstly, I came out the gate consulting. Out of school, I was consulting, which is unheard of. Most people save consulting and entrepreneurship until their later part of the career. I was big, bold, and did that from jump. So I dealt with everything. I mean, I was super passionate about wanting to be in the center of where things were popping, and so that meant living sometimes 50 miles away from the campaigns that I was working in. So sorry, Mom and Dad, but I did sleep in my car from time to time, right? Because I just needed to make sure that I wasn't late, that I was present, that I was there when it was happening. Those sacrifices. Financially, as an entrepreneur, in your 20s, what? Are you kidding? There were many times where I didn't get to go to the event that my friends were going at, and I had to call it in. And even today, I've had to kind of let go of my FOMO and realize that, the work and the dedication and the sweat equity that I put in now is going to pay off dividends moving forward. It meant also that I had to learn how to prioritize and center myself as somebody who feels so innately responsible, innately driven to put on for my community. I sacrificed myself. That's my Achilles heel. So I've had to learn how to care for myself while caring for others. And to be honest with you, that's probably been the biggest thing that I've had to overcome, is that if I believe that my community deserves me at my best, then I have to make sure that I'm showing up as my best self for my community at all times and not sacrificing ourselves, which culturally is something that we learn, right? We learn that self-sacrifice is honorable. I've had to kind of rework that to be able to sit in front of you today.
Why, from your perspective, why is it important that we are involved in tech?
Oh, it's huge. We hear all the time people talking about Black folks and brown folks and marginalized folks should be involved in STEM and STEAM. It wasn't until I stepped into this role that I truly, really saw how amazing it is, right? And it's primarily because technology affords us the opportunity to rebuild and reimagine worlds where we are centered, where the harms and the experiences that we live out in real life are solved for with technology. And if we can have people that look like you and me behind the keyboards and behind the screens doing that work, then that means that we are building culturally competent systems in tech that don't reflect the very harms that exist in real life that we experience. The reason why we have to make sure that we are the ones doing it, though, is because when culturally incompetent people build technology, digital tech mirrors the very problems that we see in real life. So our goal with Spill is to blend the IRL and the URL. We are proving that with our build. And at Spill, technical and cultural competence is symbiotic, and I'm so proud of the work that we are doing.
Do you feel like there need to be more opportunities for Black people, people of color in the tech world to not only just be there, but to display what they're doing? Because we talk about the video game industry, and I've met a few people that, Black folks and people of color that are actually creating these video games, designing these video games, and then also their apps in the tech space, much like Spill. How imperative is that, and do you see that actually evolving more and more as the years progress?
I do. Here's the amazing part, right? Goldman Sachs just released a report not too long ago where they quantified the creator economy. I talked about this on my panel a few minutes ago. They quantified the creator economy as doubling over the next 5 years. Let me put numbers to that. Right now, we're at 250 billion with a B dollars, right? We're set to expand that by doubling it to $480 billion by 2027. That's $500 billion on the table, spent, available for creators to access, right? So the opportunities are huge. The bag is huge for us to get there. The one thing that we find ourselves now doing differently than we have before is we have an opportunity with social media now like the 90s had with hip hop, right? Where distribution came in and started to change the value of the art that we were putting out, right? It changed the currency that was generated, the capital that was generated through the distribution of this particular art. We're at that place with the creator economy right now too, right? So Spill comes out of a place where we are now owning distribution channels where the content that does drive culture forward is being shared, and the opportunities are tremendous.
Now, a couple quick things before I let you get on out here,
Sure.
because I know you got to go. You're a very busy woman. Thank you once again for joining us here.
Thank you,
TEC
Nick.
Leimert,
Thank
really
you.
appreciate it. When we talk about access to capital,
Sure.
and actually getting the capital, I know in
Sure.
the media space there's about $323 billion annually that's handed out as far as when it comes to marketing, when it comes to advertising dollars, but Black media especially gets 1% of that share.
Yeah.
What is the percentage share when it comes to tech especially when you have black entrepreneurs that are looking to expand upon and getting capital for the tech space, especially like we talk about Spill and so many others.
Spill is VC funded, but the truth is that still 1% of black-owned companies are able to access VC funding. But everything is about setting precedent, right? Which is why we're trying to blow through every single goal that we have. And if it takes us showing how it's done, then so be it. I look forward to more platforms coming behind us and doing the same thing. You're right in that there isn't enough pathways available to us to access the bag. I think that's what it makes me most excited about what we're doing at Spill, because by owning our own distribution, by having our own platform, we are bringing people to our table and talking about the value of the content and the culture that is generated in the Spilliverse, elevating that and saying, okay, you want to access us here? The price just went up. Yesterday's price is not today's price.
Hello. Last thing, now I'm going to put Kenyon Parham on the spot real quick, y'all. I'm going to put you on the spot real quick.
Nick.
Now, you on an island. You can only take 3 albums with you.
3 albums?
That's 3.
Don't do it to me, Nick. Oh, my God.
What are those albums?
3 albums?
3.
All right, Miseducational Lauryn Hill.
Ooh, okay.
That's 1. 3 albums.
I see the wheels turning.
All Eyes on Me.
Ooh, Tupac, okay.
And listen, no skips. No skips. It's always the third one that gets people. Like, I got my top 2. It's always the third one. I'm gonna plead the 5th on that. I'm gonna leave the third one floating.
Oh, see, okay.
I'll leave the third one floating.
All right,
I don't know. It's hard. That's hard for me.
What are you debating? What's the third one? What albums are you debating for that third slot?
Honestly, I'm an Earth, Wind, and Fire fan.
Okay, see, there you
I
go.
really am an Earth, Wind, and
There you
Fire
go.
fan. So I'm gonna need, like, the God, which one? Now it's which one?
I'm gonna go. I'm gonna bail you out. I'm gonna say the greatest hits.
Thank you.
See?
The greatest hits.
There you go.
That's what I need.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for taking time out of your
Thank
schedule
you,
to join
Nick.
us here at TEC Leimert Black to the Future
Thank you
here
so much.
in the Media Center. Kenya Parham, make sure y'all go check out Spill. If you haven't signed up, make sure you go sign up right now. It is a black-owned platform. It's not only that, it is a platform for us in the culture, those who may be marginalized, disenfranchised, whoever you may be, whatever gender, as long as you're down with the program, as she says. And we'll be right back. I'm Nick Hamilton here at TEC Leimert.
Now, Nick, one real quick thing. If the folks listening want to download Spill, they got to use an access code. So I'm going to drop an exclusive access code here with you right now. Okay, exclusive access code to download Spill. We are available in the Apple Store. We are in iOS for right now, but the Android build is coming. I promise y'all. Download Spill. Are you doing it right now?
I'm doing it right now.
Okay, from the Apple App Store, use the code GETFREE. That's GETFREE at sign up, and we'll see you in the Spilliverse.
All right, I'm on to the free. So y'all see right here, I'm on to the free.
All right.
We'll be right back.
Perfect.